Hello, YouTube. J Bob, the video game slob, coming back with I don't know. This was stuff that came out of trays and stuff that was individually priced and just sort of whatever that came out of the sale. And so it's stuff that we bought. So let's go over it here. I don't know, some decently exciting stuff. Nothing really that's a letdown. Everything turned out to be in fairly decent condition, I think. Always love the shiny there. And so it does the cool gatefold trick. If you've never seen the inside of that, that's pretty cool. I don't like it. It slides through. It does kind of create a mess and it doesn't grip on real well there. But for 14 bucks, we're grabbing a double pack of Grand Theft Autos. And you're probably saying, Afro Samurai, this is a rerun, but I assure you it's not. This guy had 2 copies of it. Obviously was a favorite game of his, as indicated by the fact that he had all the Afro Samurai movies that I bought too. So you can tell that was kind of a passion of his. Everybody's favorite terrible game of all time, although the value seems to be declining on it, but it'll always live on in AVGN fame, so that's always kind of nice. It's always tough. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. If you're out and you're just kind of seeing a Dragon Ball game, which one is valuable and which isn't? There never seems to be, and I haven't played any of these. I should fully admit to that. I've never played a Dragon Ball game, and I only ever watched the original series before it was even Z, because it used to be on TV when I was a kid. But, so I don't know. Is that a $20 one or a $5 one? I feel like you just never know, I don't know, until you look them up. But Alice Madness Returns is one I love and will always recommend to everybody. American McGee did some great work here. And so, yeah, I always say pick that one up. And I think it still carries a premium. I don't know if I had to guess 30 bucks. And here's another one. You know, it's like, guess the price on these 360 Capcom or Sega games. You know, it used to be 15, so I'm guessing still probably not bad. You know, you look at it and you're like, that should be a $20 game. It just kind of looks cool and the gameplay was fun. And then you look it up and you're like, nope, 10. And the next time you look one up and you're like, that's 40. And I guess maybe that's the trend of this video is here we go with a very clean copy of Spider-Man 3. And it's like, you know, you look up the Spider-Mans on the PlayStation 3 and they're like all insanely priced. And then you look up like Amazing Spider-Man 2. And you're like, this should be a good one. And you're like, no, it's not. But the Left 4 Deads are always classic. I've been picking these up for years and always recommended people do the same. And so, yeah, they're just great to have in your collection. They're, I think, getting more expensive. I'm assuming it's a $20 game by now. But yeah, I would recommend grabbing that even if it is 25 bucks. I don't know, just because there's no way they stay that cheap forever. 20 bucks really doesn't get you even half a tank of gas anymore or anything like that. If your car even takes gas, I suppose. These old, you know, like Gears of War collector's editions, things like this, I just know from selling like the Halo 2 and Doom 3 and all those other collector's editions, they don't tend to be worth money, but they have all these really cool little fidgety items inside and, you know, comes really hefty steelbook and all that kind of stuff. For 16 bucks, again, that you know, I'll fully admit, I don't know what the value is on that. I'm going to guess 20, maybe 25. But for 16, they're just worth, I feel like, continuing to put away. And they're just such great love letters to the franchise that, you know, and if you haven't played Gears of War, play Gears of War. Maybe this is the theme of the if Jason had to guess the value video on these things. It's like Teen Titans on the Xbox, $200. Teen Titans on GameCube, which is usually where everything's expensive, is going to be like 20 bucks or something, I guess. I don't know. We'll put that out there. We'll go with that. Here's another one that just continues to baffle me. Metroid Prime, and like 20 is probably all the market on that, I think. Because I bought a few of them online just to have in inventory for, I think the price will have to go up at some point. And same with Paper Mario. I bet it is 36 to 40 on price charting right now. But it just seems crazy low to me, and so I'll hold on to it, and we'll see if it goes up here through refund season. And if not, who cares? I own Paper Mario for 36 bucks. SpongeBob SquarePants, The Battle of Bikini Bottom, the game that goes up and down in value. But I always seem to sell out, so always good to have. This is an AVGN video, isn't it? There, the Universal Studios, the terrible game where you have to go around collecting trash to be able to do anything that's fun. And then what I think the goal of the game is to buy hats or something like that. I think this is the most hated of all the Bomberman games. It's certainly reflected that way in the price. People just do not seem to care. But then the dark horse out of nowhere came these Scooby-Doo games, which were for years unsellable in like $5 and $10. And now I think all of them are like $20. Can we get the same to happen for Chicken Little, people, please? I would love to offload my Chicken Little futures. And what was that terrible game that just went, I don't know, viral and went up to like $100? Let's do that for the Doras. Let's get that crap out of here. So yeah, this stuff is fairly bottom of the barrel, but it's GameCube, and so it'll look nice on a shelf that nobody will buy. But it'll look like I have GameCube games. And isn't that really the most important part about selling things at retail, is not necessarily having great merchandise, but looking like maybe at some point you'll have some great merchandise. Kirby Air Ride Total Flyer at $40. It's just Kirby. It's $40. It's GameCube. Even if that's just dead on the money and that's market price, I'll just keep it. I don't really care. Fantastic Four, nobody's writing home about that game. Open Season, oddly enough, also came out on the Xbox 360, and I played through, and it was fairly blah. This might be the third or fourth copy I have of Spyro's Hero Tale. It must be the worst possible version of that game because nobody buys it, and it's like $15. If it is even $15, it might be like 12. Somehow, Incredibles: Rise of the Underminer is going to be more expensive than Spyro on the GameCube. A lot of these family games, classic games, so although I say they never sell and they do kind of suck, people will buy them because, you know, they want to have something to play with their kids or their grandkids, and so, you know, and they're cheap, you know, what are they, $10? So, you know, when you sit it next to a Kirby game that's $60, like this one's 10, play Shark Tale, kids. It's got Will Smith in it, I think. Speaking of games that just go up and down, and I can never tell which is the better of the collector's edition, so this $56, I took a flyer, I don't know. I might just pass it on to somebody else at the price I paid. Worse comes to worse. Lots of Sonic games. You know, you can never have too many Sonic games on the GameCube in your showcase. I have all of them, even with all the different variants and players' choices. All these seem to be getting more expensive. I wouldn't shock me if that's like a $20 game these days. These Disney games, I don't know, people love them, so keep cranking them out. Wave Race Blue Storm, you know, everybody loves Wave Race 64. This was the, you know, forgotten sequel, and then that just kind of like sank the whole deal, which sucks because this game was great. Splashdown was great. Hydro Thunder, you know, all games sort of in that same vibe. Tons of fun, and it just really doesn't seem to exist anymore. I don't know, that it just is kind of a shame to me. So this one I think now is like $80. This has gone like through the roof. So that's a really good pickup there. All these old animation shows people seem to want to pick up and have in their collection. The Fairly Odd Parents. This had a moment a while back where it went from a nothing game to being worth a few bucks. Let's see if that has managed to hang on or not. But a couple of meme videos online, and next thing you know, casuals like me are in the profit. So there we go. Again, ending on a Scooby-Doo. Always glad to have that. What did this lot have in it for PS2s? Crash of the Titans, which we just saw on the 360. I don't know which version is going to be more expensive. Crazy that this collection had both Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast, the PS2 and the Xbox version. Of course, I already had this one, and I remember picking it up and like seeing it listed and like driving out to go grab it for $10 or $20, thinking that for sure it would like shoot up like the other one. Still glad to have it, and glad to be able to sell that one, but I'm going to guess Scooby-Doo, and maybe I'm wrong. Here we go. This is my official prediction as we're logging all this stuff in. Scooby-Doo is more expensive than Outrun. We'll see if that's accurate. I'm starting to run out of Mario Karts finally through the winter season, so always great to have a number of those in backstock. And like I said with the Vita, I'm trying to pump up my 3DS collection. And he had some really cool stuff with this. Like this does have the glow-in-the-dark poster in it, so very cool to see that. I love the Ultimate NES remixes. Just super fun way to reimagine and replay all those NES games and get kids kind of hooked on playing them and wanting to get back into it. I do know that I went through and picked up all the Sonic games and all the Turtles games on 3DS a while back. Same with all the Mega Mans. So I know I have all these. This isn't that expensive anyway, but it did come with its little stickers inside, so he definitely had all the little touchy, feely stuff with it, so that's pretty cool. Anything Tetris will always move, and yeah, this is one I don't believe I have. Shifting World. Don't believe I've ever played or heard of this one, so I don't know. We'll see. It looks interesting. Anyway, I'll check that out. It was an Armor Games, so one of those old web games. And finally, what this collection became known for, the sealed stuff. Just knowing how much this one shot up in value recently, went ahead and grabbed that for $40. Not going to Wada with that. I think that's probably mostly due to the release of the new game and people loving it, so we're going to try to get that one moved as quick as we can. We got the Zelda Wind Waker sealed for $70. Even in probably not 9.8 condition, I'll send that one off for grading for sure. Mass Effect 3 is definitely not worth messing with anywhere. Zombie Army Trilogy, I know nothing about, so I really got to learn something about this, but, you know, Switch sealed stuff, unless it's something crazy or I look up that game and find out it has a ton of value, that's not going anywhere. I always loved when I collected for the Wii U, getting the green box, and it's just like with the 64. Anytime you got, you know, a nice colored cartridge, that always felt pretty cool. So for $40, I'm buying sealed Nintendo stuff like Mario all day. That may be the market price on it. We'll find out, but that'll probably go to Wada 2 just to have, so that I have a nice, cool green boxed Wii U game. The only green Wii U boxed game. So there you go. That was this haul. There's still plenty more. YouTube, let me know what you saw in here that I was right about. Were any of my predictions dead wrong? Did you know better than J Bob knew? Stay tuned. We'll keep you informed. Over and out.